In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 biggest mistakes I see when artists audition for audiobook voiceover jobs. Plus, I'm going to show you a bonus tip to make sure you end up in search results in places like ACX, Amazon's Audiobook Narrator jobs platform. And by the end of this video, well, you're going to know what job-killing voiceover mistakes to avoid, and you know how to show up professionally, get noticed, stay noticed, and land more clients for voiceover jobs. Hey, this is Jonathan Green from ServeNoMaster.com. I published dozens of bestsellers, and I've hired over 30 audiobook readers for my books. And in this video, I'll show you what separates the winners who get hired from those who fall short. I see the same mistakes happen year after year by voiceover artists who want to get into the audiobook industry. Let me help you to avoid making these career-killing mistakes, starting with number 1, poorly named audio files. Poorly named audio files lose you jobs. When I'm looking through auditions and work samples, I need to know who you are. Who was that voice I heard a few files back? Artists name files with generic titles like audition.mp3, voiceover.mp3, audiobook.mp3, or the title of my book.mp3. Those names tell me nothing about the voice or the person behind the file, and soon they all start to look the same, and I can't find you. So name your file so that you can be found and refound, and you'll stand out from the crowd. Your file should simply say your name and the name of the book you're reading. A great audition file for my new book Breakthrough would say johnnyreader-breakthrough.mp3. And this will help you to avoid making the next most common mistake, long and boring introductions. This is the fast track to losing your listener. When I'm looking for talent, I don't want to hear a boring monologue about someone's background and their experience. In an audition, I want them to jump right into the content. So when you're preparing examples and samples and audition files, demonstrate your talent by getting straight to the work. If you name your file properly, there's no need to tell me your name, your background, or what book you're about to read me. It's all in the file name. And this goes double for the samples on your website or audiobook profile. When I'm scanning through hundreds of voice actors on ACX, I skip over anyone who starts with an intro telling me what book they're about to read. While it only feels like 10 seconds to you, it adds up when someone is going through hundreds of auditions in a single sitting. Number 3 is echoes and unclear audio. Now I know this should go without saying, but trust me, it needs to be said. Make sure your audio is clear and it doesn't sound like it was recorded in a canyon with echoes bouncing off rock walls. The quality of sound in your audition reflects the quality of work you'll deliver when you get the job. So make your audio clear and no echoes. When I'm listening to audio on my computer, I use a pair of cheap Logitech speakers. They're fine for listening to sweet beats or watching a video like this one. But when I'm choosing an audiobook narrator, I put on my high-end noise-canceling headphones from Bose. The QC25s are one of the best sets of headphones out there. And I use the wired version because the sound is even cleaner than the wireless QC35s. I want to get the cleanest audio possible when choosing a narrator. And when you're testing your files before sending them out, you must use the best sound equipment you can get your hands on. Look, there are plenty of audio files that sound fine on speakers, but when I put on the headphones, the sound starts to collapse. When testing your files, always perform the hardest test you can. And I know that at least some of my audiobook listeners will be using headphones, so that's how I test my books. And number 4, background noise. This is a big problem, and it happens. Refrigerators, airplanes, kids, your neighbor's loud barking beagle. Background noise kills your audio samples and distracts your listeners. I'm astounded by the number of people who submit a recording that sounds like it's from inside of a bus stop. Whether it's a crying child in the background or a door slamming down the hall, it's better to re-record your file than to submit it with a promise that the final product will be better. Nobody is going to trust that. As you watch my YouTube channel, you'll notice that sometimes people walk across the background behind me. I try to control that as much as possible, and I shoot multiple takes of each video, but there's only so much I can do when recording in the garden of my hostel. It's pretty crowded here. And while I let that occasionally slide on my own content, especially for a really long video, I would never leave that in a video for a client or an audition. Your audition should always be better than you would want for your own channel. Don't submit an audition unless the file is pristine. And even if you do somehow get hired to produce an audiobook, your work will be rejected by the manual review process for most audiobook platforms. Amazon's ACX is extremely strict about audio levels, background noise, and overall quality. You do not want to put in dozens of hours recording an audiobook, only to find out you have to start over because your audio wasn't up to their requirements. Number 5, being passive about your career. Simply put, be professional. Don't be slow and lazy with replies to potential clients. Show integrity and be prompt with replies. Fill out your profile on ACX, Upwork, and anywhere else you're looking for potential clients. Make yourself presentable. Now let me ask you a question. Does your photograph on those websites send the right message? Does it look like a photograph of an audiobook reader? Is your profile complete? Or are there glaring blank sections? Does your portfolio accurately represent your talent? And are you showcasing your work in the best possible light? Are you updating it regularly? Make sure to follow up with people. Do not leave them hanging. I've lost far too many voiceover artists who were my first pick for a job because they didn't get back to me in time. I thought they didn't want the job and I had to hire someone else. So be responsive and be responsible. Take initiative and be proactive with your career. Being slow and passive will leave you on the sidelines of work that could have been yours. Holding your breath while you read. Make sure you breathe. When you're reading a story or script, keep your breathing conversational and you'll connect better with your audience. Don't hold your breath. Don't rush after your breath either. It's okay to breathe normally and naturally. Practice belly breathing and allow yourself to slow down and pause to breathe. You'll have a more natural sound, which your listeners will like, and you'll increase your stamina. It can be exhausting in the booth, reading out loud for long periods of time. Breathing while you speak will keep you relaxed and energized. So practice proper breathing. Number 7 is a flat and monotonous sound. A book without emotion is flat, and a voice without dynamics, well, it's monotonous, and those are both boring. Authors like me take great care to move their readers on an emotional level. They have the words there, but when you're narrating, you need to do more than just say the words on the page. You want to use your voice to match the emotions in the writing and the story. You want to make your listeners feel something, and the human voice, well, it's one of the best instruments for creating emotion in others, but not if it's flat and monotone. Allow yourself to change pitch, tone, pacing, and volume of your voice to pull those listeners in and help them to feel the story. Consider finding a voice coach and spend some time listening to your favorite narrators. Pay attention to the way they use their voice to keep you engaged and emotionally involved. Your voice is a powerful instrument. And with the rise of audiobooks, the demand for quality voiceover artists is growing. These audiobook voiceover mistakes include poorly named audio files, boring introductions about yourself, bad audio and echoes, distracting background noise, being passive about your career, holding your breath while you speak in a flat, monotone voice. Making them will keep you frustrated and out of work. But as you can see, they're simple to avoid. Be professional, submit quality work, and become a student of your voice. It can become an asset for your financial future so you can fire your boss and serve no master. Now, I told you I'd give you a bonus tip on showing up in more search results on ACX, an important thing if you want to be found. Here it is. You need to add new voice samples to your profile frequently. ACX lists results in their catalog by most recent sample submission. So adding a sample a week will keep you at the top of those charts, and many more potential clients will hear your voice. Now, in a moment, I want you to head over and join the tribe on Facebook. The Author and Entrepreneur Accelerator Facebook group, well, it's the place to connect with others and get support from amazing people on the same journey to grow their own businesses. But before we go, I'm curious, how long have you been narrating and doing voiceover work? Let me know down below in the comments. Are you just getting started, or have you been doing this for a while? Leave a comment, let me know. And don't forget to join the tribe. Head over to the Author and Entrepreneur Accelerator Facebook group now.